The surge of huge, expensive AI models has not only driven some leading companies to develop their own chips, but it has also generated countless well-funded startups working on specialized silicon. How can Tesla miss such a chance? The biggest motor giant is all prepping the grounds to roll on with its new, homebrewed dynamic D1 AI chip. Welcome to TechSpot. As the pandemic has intensified dependency on technical devices like computers, laptops, smartphones, smartwatches, and smart televisions, and many more, the production of these devices need to step up their game to cope with the increasing demand. Among everything that powers these devices, chips are the ones which are facing a crisis in stocks nowadays, something which is holding almost all industries and some big companies from achieving major feats. This has led several companies to focus on creating their own chips with some incredible capabilities. These custom-made chips fitting their application-specific requirements gives them more control over the integration of software and hardware while distinguishing them from their competitors. These precisely designed and developed chips can work to reduce energy consumption for devices and products while performing better and working out cheaper. Perhaps the most notable example of self-made chips comes in November 2020 when Apple announced it was shifting from Intel's x86 architecture to bring its own M1 processor, which now comes in the newly launched iMacs and iPads. Check out the video on Apple Silicon version M1X to know the remarkable features and chip and how Apple did it. Google is reportedly laying out its own design of its own CPUs to sit in its Chromebook laptops. The American giant plans to use the CPU in Chromebooks and tablets that operate the company's Chrome operating system from around 2023, according to reports. Amazon, which has already designed a number of other chips, is also developing its own networking chip to power hardware switches that move data around networks. If it works out well, it will effectively curtail Amazon's reliance on Broadcom. America's social media giant Facebook's chief AI scientist told Bloomberg in 2019 that the company is working on a new class of semiconductor that would work very differently than most of the existing designs. Google, Amazon, and Facebook did not immediately respond to CNBC's request for comment. Now, Tesla is the largest company carving the way into developing its own silicone chips. At a recent promotional event, Tesla demonstrated details of custom AI chip called D1 for training the machine learning algorithm behind its Autopilot self-driving system. Tesla also revealed Dojo, an AI neural network training supercomputer. The AI event also saw a company reveal the concept of a 5'8" humanoid robot known as the Tesla Bot that could handle some tough business. Tesla's strategy is to build around the neural network. Unlike many self-driving car companies, Tesla does not use LiDAR, a more expensive kind of sensor that can see the world in 3D. Instead, it counts on interpreting scenes by employing a neural network algorithm to parse input from the camera to the radar. This is more computationally demanding because of the algorithm and has to reconstruct a map of its surroundings from the camera feeds rather than depending on sensors to capture that picture. Many car companies use neural networks to identify objects on the road, but Tesla is leaning more heavily on technology, with a single giant neural network known as the Transformer, receiving input from 8 cameras at once. Tesla also compiles more training data than any other car companies. Each of the more than 1 million Teslas running on the road sends video feeds from its 8 cameras back to the company. Tesla says it employs 1,000 people to label these images, noting cars, trucks, traffic signs, lane markings, and other features in order to help train the large transformer. In the August event, Tesla also said that it will automatically select which images to prioritize in labeling to make the process more efficient. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Transformer models have provided big improvements in areas such as language understanding in recent years. The process have come with making the models larger and more data hungry. Training the largest AI programs needs several $1 million worth of cloud computing power. At the event, Tesla CEO Elon Musk said scrapping higher performance out of the computer system used to train the company's neural network will be crucial to the move ahead in autonomous driving. If it takes a couple days for a model to train versus a couple of hours, that's a big deal, Musk said. Tesla already designs chips that help onboard software make decisions in response to what's happening on the road, after switching from using NVIDIA hardware in 2019. By creating a powerful and complex kind of chip needed to train AI algorithms, it is a lot more expensive and challenging. But challenges is what Tesla loves to have. Tesla announced that it is building a Dojo chip to train artificial intelligence networks in data centers. The market for AI training chips is presently conquered by NVIDIA, which started out making chips for gaming. The company swung around in developing the supplying AI chips when it became clear that the graphics processing units were competent. The company swung around to developing and supplying AI chips when it became clear that its graphics processing units were competent enough to running large neural networks than the central processing units at the core of general-purpose computers. Tesla switched over to its own chips and self-driving computer from NVIDIA's chips for the Model S and Model X and for the Model 3. NVIDIA disputed some of the claims Tesla made in presentation, saying that the electric car maker was comparing the whole computer's performance with that of one chip. A full system based on multiple NVIDIA chips would be more powerful than what Tesla showed off. Still, NVIDIA did offer praise for Tesla, saying it has just raised the bar for self-driving computers. Ganesh Venkataraman, Tesla's senior director of Autopilot hardware and lead of Project Dojo, said the D1 supported FP32, BFP16, and a new format called CFP8. Optimized for machine learning workloads, D1 is manufactured using a 7nm processor, and at just 645 square millimeters contains 50 billion transistors. D1 is equipped with 4 terabyte per second off-chip bandwidth on each of its lateral edges, all 4 equipped with connectors, allowing for it to connect and scale with other D1 chips without sacrificing speed. The D1 chip is designed in-house specifically for machine learning and to eliminate bandwidth bottlenecks. Each of the D1's 354 chip nodes reportedly has 1 teraflop of compute. Venkataraman said that the entire chip is capable of up to 363 teraflops of compute as well as 10 terabyte per second of on-chip bandwidth and 4 terabyte per second of off-chip bandwidth. This chip is like GPU level compute with a CPU level flexibility and twice the network chip I/O bandwidth. To house the chips, the company has developed what it calls training tiles, with which it builds its computing systems. Each tile comprises of 25 D1 chips and an integrated multi-chip module, with each tile providing 9 petaflops of compute and 36 terabytes per second of off-tile bandwidth. Venkataraman said that the first training tile was delivered and tested last week to create Dojo. The company says it plans to install 2 trays of 6 tiles in a single cabinet for 100 petaflop of compute per cabinet. Once complete, the company will have a single exapod capable of 1.1 exaflops of AI compute via 10 connected cabinets. The entire system will house 120 tiles, 3,000 D1 chips, and more than 1 million nodes. According to Venkataraman, all this performance will be made accessible through the high-performing compiler, which performs automatically without human improvement and requires the tiniest efforts to initiate on researchers' part. This is what Dojo will be, Venkataraman said, to be the fastest AI training computer. According to Tesla's CEO Elon Musk, the Dojo chip should be operational by next year. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next one.